Good morning and welcome back, everyone. We've got a power failure here, so I thought it might be a good opportunity to introduce our Birmingham Roller Pigeons to you. So on one of our previous videos I showed you the white homing pigeons, which I'm going to get up back into the kit loft. And it's a lovely winter's morning. You can hear the neighbors with the generators in the back. Those clouds this time of year normally means that there's cold coming. It is high winter now. In summer it would have been excellent, because then it might have meant that there is rain on the way. But for now it means cold. But it's a perfect time to fly the pigeons, since we can't work due to no electricity. Okay, so this is the team that I fly in competitions. It's kind of a fluid situation. I've got an A team, which are these, and then a B team. So I take the better ones out of the B team, add them to the A team, and then I take the worst ones out of the A team and put them in the B team. Then if there are babies that start rolling well, then they go onto the B team, and so on. So I'm just going to stand back a little and see if I can get some good footage on them. A couple of breaks perhaps. There they go. Okay, so basically how it works is everything from 5 up. Hello, hello. So a little schnauzer and reach back flicker. Yeah, let's see what we can see. Okay, so the way it works, every time they roll together, we call it a break. So if the break consists of 5 or more birds, you get 1 mark for each pigeon that rolls. And then from 10 upwards, you get 2 marks for every bird that rolls. And the reason they're colored is because it took me some time. I've had them now for 10 years, and I finally have a family that work together and react the same to feed and so on. But the downside of it is they tend to look quite similar. So what we're basically doing is some haridas, local birds, laughing at us, and that's also where they get their name from. Harida! So basically, the reason I color them is because they look so similar. The majority of mine are black with white heads. Then you can see which ones are which, so you know which ones to take out and which ones to leave in. So let's check if we can try and score them quickly. It looks like they're getting closer. Okay, that's just about 5. The rest weren't together. There's again, I think, about 7. Okay, they just flew through that one. So the idea is that they go straight down. If you look at them from the bottom, it's ideal if they look like an H with their wings straight up and next to their bodies. depth is also important. So you'll see some of them are a little bit deeper, which can also be bad because then they struggle to get back to the rest of the kit. So these ones have only been together for about a month. I was a bit slow in sorting them, but yeah, no, they're getting on nicely. There's a nice little break, I think about 8. Okay, now I think they're a little bit too far now, but here they come. So let's wait until they're a little bit closer. There they go, that's a nice one. I think about 7. An easy way to count them is the ones that are left at the bottom after they broke. And then you can see how many broke, but then you might make the mistake of adding some that wasn't exactly at the same time as the others when they started rolling. I think I'll wait a little and then continue. Okay, so they're back a little bit closer. There are a few outbirds, which means they lost the rest of the team. So those ones I'll basically take out. They are then going to the B team. And then as soon as they mess up again, they'll be going to the pet shop loft to be rehomed somewhere where a little boy or someone can keep them and maybe grow into another World Cup flyer one day. There's 3 outbirds coming back. You can hear the lovebirds. Even though they're African, they're not endemic here. Most of them are actually Fisher's lovebirds. They're flying over every now and then. I'll try to get some of them in another video. Yeah, the lovebirds have basically became feral and are now well established here all over Gauteng. Kom nou. It's a nice individual roll, but we're waiting for big breaks. Yeah, we're lucky today because there's normally a Mr. Falcon that likes to come and chase them up, and then you almost can't see them for 3 hours because they're too scared of coming back. So the local ringnet doves. Now the idea is to just fly them often so they get to know each other, so the breaks become more, what do you call it, simultaneous, or so they learn how their mates fly, and then also obviously to get the birds that aren't kitting with them well out, so they can be demoted, their first demotion. If they're demoted again, they'll find another as a pet somewhere. So I bred about, I think about 150 babies. So I'm now starting to sort them out. The family that there's a nice little break. The family that I have, they had good style, they broke together well, they're very fast, but unfortunately they weren't very deep. So last year I got some birds in from the ancestors of my foundation pair in order to breed them back into this family so that we could see if we could increase the depth a little. So it worked. They are definitely deeper, but the problem with that is some of them tend to be too deep now. So those are the ones that are losing the kit. So unfortunately they're really cool individual rollers, but I still have to take them out because it's no use if they just roll on their own. Okay. I think they're a little bit too far now. It's interesting, they've now kind of gone into fourth gear or much higher gear because they break less, but when they break, the brakes are normally a little bit higher. So I think their bodies are nicely warmed up now. So this is the benefit of flying them more. You'll see, okay, that one is on his own mission. They break less, but they do bigger breaks. Okay, that was only 4. Now they still need to regroup again, do a couple of turns. There's a nice little break. It's only about 6, but at least it's something. There was a nice break behind the tree. I don't think you could see that properly. Here they come again. They tend to break nicely in or just after a turn. So let's see what they do now. That was the perfect time. Only some of them went. And also interestingly, if you whistle at them, they tend to all break immediately. I'll try that again when they're a little bit closer, when they're coming into land. Okay, the weather has taken a quick turn for the worst. So let me try and call them back. Give them a couple of minutes to just get their breath, and then we'll call them in. You'll see most of them are black bald-heads. Some color variations came in when we added the new genetics last year. That Millie is one of my older birds. It's only partly related to them. Kom. Yeah, this is them. So you'll see they've all got different colors, but they look rather the same. Let's call them in. Kom. So, I think there are 21 birds. I give them a normal baked beans cup full of food. And I've got a suspicion it's not the first time that I'm going to say this, but there's always the one. Come on. Okay, so after they've eaten, oh, there's another one. Nice little spangle. His dad comes from a family of pigeons that we know in South Africa as the Beersy pair, which was sold at auction for a lot of money, and that's where the name Beersy comes from. It means purse or wallet. Kom. See, the wind is incredibly strong now, so they first struggled getting down. Now he's struggling getting in. Kom. Kom. Okay, so as you can see, that's the A team, and up there is the B team, and then there are two sets of young birds, about 60 of them that I still need to fly out, and then as they mature and start rolling, they'll progress to the B team, from the B team to the A team. But all of that will be on future videos. So if you'd like to see what happens and how we progress with them, I'll appreciate it greatly if you can subscribe, and then you won't miss any of our future videos. If you know anyone that also likes pigeons or animals in general, it will be great if you can share it with them, so that we can do the whole journey together.